Well, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for your 12 p.m. news and weather update. I'm Bailey Bockover. Hope you all are doing well this morning. Lots and lots going on out by the coast where double red flags are being flown. Taking a look down at the coast, multiple Eastern Carolina beaches are flying double red flags, which means stay out of the water. Pine Knoll Shores Fire and EMS says their beach is closed for swimming. The town says going in the water with double red flags means you're putting yourself and first responders at serious risk. On the Outer Banks, Corolla, Nags Head, Kill Devil Hills, and Kitty Hawk also raised double red flags this morning, saying rip currents today are life-threatening. Other beaches are flying single red flags. Emerald Isle officials say they've also taken down the lifeguard towers on the beach due to storm surge along the coastline that could knock them down. And I want to head over to First Alert meteorologist Russell James, who's in the middle of a forecast right now, to give you a better look at what's going on right now.
Yeah, so Russell, if you're heading out to the beach
to the following weekend, but yeah, just very unsettled conditions for the coastal waters. There's storm surge warnings also active, and even coastal flood warnings. So a lot of watches and warnings along at least the immediate coast. We'll dive into those further, and then we'll take a look at specific impacts, especially when we look at inland locations versus the coast over the next several minutes here within the newscast.
All right, well, thank you, Russell. And there are double flags flying at a few Crystal Coast beaches, telling people to stay out of the ocean. Pine Knoll Shores Fire and EMS says the beach is closed for swimming because of dangerous surf and rip currents. The town of Kitty Hawk also shared that it's flying double red flags as well as Nags Head and also Kill Devil Hills, among others. Pine Knoll Shores says going in the water with double red flags means that you're putting yourself and also first responders at serious risk. Corolla Beach Rescue also issued double red flags today. And there are other beaches along the Crystal Coast that are flying single red flags today. That includes Atlantic Beach and Emerald Isle. Now, first responders are sounding the alarm for beachgoers to stay out of the water. Large ocean swells are forming and crashing along Atlantic Beach, but it's not keeping people out of the water. The Atlantic Beach Fire Department is urging everyone to stay out due to those high rip tides caused by Hurricane Erin. This morning, the Atlantic Beach Fire Department laid some lifeguard towers down and even had to move some towers further back due to high tides. Even though Atlantic Beach is flying a single red flag, other beach communities like Pine Knoll Shores are flying double red flags, meaning that their beach is closed for swimming. The Atlantic Beach Fire Department encourages everyone to take those precautions and stay out of the water if necessary. And if you're still on the Outer Banks, the NCDOT says that you should evacuate today before Hurricane Erin possibly shuts down major roadways. Highway 12 is still open and passable after it experienced minor ocean trickle at Buxton and on the north end of Ocracoke Island. However, officials still say it's possible that Erin will cause significant impacts on the roadway beginning tonight and worsening through Friday. Conditions could close NC 12 for several days, and NCDOT officials are reminding people to go ahead and use today as a chance to follow Dare and Hyde County's mandatory evacuation orders and leave before those impacts are seen and also felt. Cape Hatteras National Seashore also says that several campgrounds, visitors facilities, beaches, and off-road vehicle access ramps will be closed. The National Seashore just closed at noon. Now, Island Express ferry service out of Beaufort and Harkers Island will stop service from Wednesday until at least Friday. The Oregon Inlet Campground also just closed at noon, and the Cape Point, Frisco, and Ocracoke campgrounds also closed yesterday afternoon. Cape Hatteras says that the Bodie Island Lighthouse will also be closed on Wednesday and Thursday. And starting today, Onslow County says that all county-operated beach access points in Topsail Beach will close. Along our coast, and also some red flags were flying on a number of Eastern Carolina beaches yesterday. Officials say the areas will reopen as conditions allow. Onslow County Emergency Management will monitor Erin and also share those updates on the storm's impacts. These dangerous conditions have been seen on our coast, with up to 70 rip current rescues reported by Wrightsville Beach Ocean Rescue yesterday. The Surf City Fire Department also reported 15 rip current rescues. The National Weather Service issued a high rip current risk alert for all southeastern North Carolina beaches and northeastern South Carolina beaches through Friday, especially for east and southeast facing beaches. A Wilson man is facing murder charges after a shooting that killed a man. Wilson police say they were called to the 37 block of Chase Road for a gunshot.
Alrighty, and you are watching some of your news at noon, just giving you updates on Hurricane Erin and what we're seeing with those impacts along the coast. In other news, the NCDOT says now is your chance to evacuate Outer Banks Highway using Highway 12. The NCDOT says Highway 12 is still open and passable after it only experienced minor ocean trickle at Buxton and on the north end of Ocracoke Island during this morning's high tide. However, NCDOT officials say it is possible Erin will cause significant impacts on the roadway beginning during tonight's high tide and worsening through Friday. Because the impacts could close NC-12 for several days, DOT officials are warning visitors and residents to use this opportunity to follow Dare and Hyde County's mandatory evacuation orders and leave the island before impacts are felt. Officials are asking drivers to be cautious and patient while evacuating. And a woman was arrested in Kinston after walking around banging on doors, threatening that she needs to looking for someone to shoot. Police say they spoke with a resident who gave them a detailed description of the woman. Officers then saw a woman identified as 45-year-old Monica Lowry who matched the resident's description and approached her. When officers tried to detain her, they said she tried to resist arrest and was not complying with their commands. When officers then say they were able to take her into custody. Following police were arresting Lowry, they said that they found a concealed gun in her bag. She was taken to the Lenore County Jail, charged with carrying a concealed gun and resisting a public officer. Lowry is facing a $1,500 bond. Well, that's all the time that we have for this hour, but you can join us back here at 1 o'clock for more news and weather. For now, we hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe out there.